Good morning, Morgan and everyone. My question this morning is my girlfriend's had a bad experience with previous men and their struggles with pornography. Now, I admitted I had one when I was younger, but did the work well before her, not in response to her to be where I'm at now. Yet she's holding it against me like I'm still in the middle of the struggle. Now, she's admitted she's withdrawn herself physically because she's guarding herself now and doesn't want to be compared. And I'm trying to be understanding and meet her where she's at and expressed I'm willing to build trust again on that aspect, but we have to do it based on where we are now, not where we used to be.
Ooh, she is comparing herself to porn stars because she knows that in her mind, because she knows that you've watched porn.
Right.
And she is blaming you for having a past where you watched porn
hmm
for her current insecurity.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, I mean, she's had experiences with previous men who have been in the middle of their struggle. And so and granted, the other thing is like even before I mentioned anything, she never had the inkling that that was a part of me. So when she found out, she was like, "Oh, you're like every other guy," and I'm like, "No." Like I
Oh,
get it, but no, like I've done the work to be where I'm at now. So it feels
yeah.
unfair that I'm being like kind of treated that way. But again,
Yeah.
trying to meet her where she's at.
Oh, two things. One, the majority of women don't have a relationship with porn the way that men have a relationship with porn and do not understand why men get so addicted to it.
Mhm.
So then we create this assumption that that must be the standard of what men must want, that not, well, actually, the man, if you're with a good man who loves you and loves having sex with you, probably the man wanted this thing that you're creating, and that was the best he could get in that moment.
Mm.
And it was, yeah, so the different understandings of it is a big part. Secondly, let me make this personal. Okay. I woke up, this is like, I don't remember how long ago this was, 2 or 3 years ago. I wake up after a should have been fun night. And I tell my husband, I just don't think that you know how to do this. And that's okay. And we can learn. And I was being very kind in my mind. I was like, and I think we can learn together. And and maybe your standards for what you like in women is different. Yeah, all of the stuff. And I've created scene by this point, and my husband calls me out, and he goes, "That's a lot of you statements." And I was like, I mean, yeah, because it's all you. It's like, yeah, no, because it's you. You're not pleasing me. Obviously, you're broken. And and then I went, okay, hold on. That's fair. Every time, as a rule so far yet to be broken, every time the sentence starts with all of the sentences are starting with you, it's a me problem that I'm terrified of.
Mm.
So I went to scene and I asked myself the questions and I went, all right, what am I scared might be true? And my stomach dropped out of my body. I was like, I'm scared that I'm not good enough. I'm scared that he felt my fat rolls. I'm scared that my body is broken and I can't receive pleasure anyway. So why would I even tell him what I like? I'm scared. The scared list just kept going on. Then I was like, okay, what am I embarrassed about? I'm embarrassed that he sees me like that. I'm embarrassed that I don't do what the girls in porn do, and I don't look like the girls in porn, and maybe I should fix something about my body so that it's better. It was all I had so many answers there. And then I turned to my husband, and expectations, the second expectation. What do I expect of myself? I expect myself to act like the girls in porn and have the level of pleasure they pretend to have in porn and make him feel really good and be performative. And so every step of the way he's having pleasure, even if he's trying to give me pleasure. So it's like the amount of expectations I had of myself. What do I expect of him? I expect him to know exactly what to do without me talking, without me saying anything. He just needs to know. He should know. And then then I turned to my husband. I went, oh, it's me. I'm shutting down because I'm performing instead of connecting. And I'm blaming you. But it's like, hitting all of the buttons on a machine and it's not working because you never plugged it in. I unplug myself. I unplugged myself before I would get to a sexual situation because I believed my role was to make you go crazy for me. That's where I can secure our relationship. So if you've been in porn, and this is really true for a lot of women who have the dynamic that you're explaining right now, who are really pissed at their partner for ever watching porn, it's, I will never be able to perform like the professional performers. So I'll never be able to secure your love for me. So now sex is ruined because you watched porn. And really, that's that you can turn that on its head. And this is where it gets so freaking juicy. Okay. You could turn that on its head. And I went, let's prove this shit wrong. I like locked in and went, let's prove this shit wrong. I want to use sex now as a way to prove this wrong. So when I get embarrassed, I'm going to say it. I'm embarrassed that you see this role, and I just need you to love on that part of me. That's what I need. And we turned sex into a place where we discovered each other's bodies and created a connection. And so few people learn that that's what sex is. It's a co-created experience about how it feels, not how it looks. And men get that. But women, not so much. And once women get that, then it's like an incredible connective experience when you stop thinking about how you look and you just focus on how do we feel together and learning how to do that and remove the shame from it. So you can't do that work for her, but it's truly, and I think you already know this, not about you. It's about what she was trained she's supposed to be for a man if she wants to keep him. And her insecurities around porn are she's going to lose you because she's not a porn star. Probably. Is that helpful?
Absolutely. I think where I'm also at right now is like, do I just be patient with her? Like just keep loving her where she's at?
Well, I feel from you like this kind of frustration and burden. Like it's your burden to fix and also your frustration that you can't seem to do it. Am I picking that up right?
I think so. Yeah.
And so you're like, what do I do with this?
Yeah. Because I've always been that type of person too. Like, okay, what can I do to step in to help carry you through it and all, or what do I need to do to help you recognize, you're not alone, that I'm trying to be understanding too. Like, I don't want it just to be like, hey, this is a you problem and you need to figure it out and I'll be here when you're ready. So I think that's where I'm at, where, yeah, there's a lot of frustration where I would want to just snap my finger, fix it, but I know that's not that easy.
So when it comes to when I'm working with couples around this in the end scene, the only question you can ask the other person is about their expectations. So if you want to have a conversation about this, the doorway into it is, what do you think? Ask her this. What do you think I expect of you in sex? Listen, then repeat back. Don't correct her. Repeat back what she said. So be like, this is the mirror game. I'm teaching you the whole seat method. So she'll say whatever she was taught to expect. Maybe she'll only say one thing. Maybe she'll be really coy about it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Then what your response is, oh, so you feel blank? That makes sense to me because of blank. What am I still missing? What else is there? And it's understanding how she feels about it until she like lays out all of the expectations she thinks that you have of her. And when she feels understood, and you can throw in like, oh, wow, that's so surprising. I've never thought about it that way. So you feel like this. You can throw in things like that. Just don't deviate into your actual deep expectations. Otherwise, you'll lose the potential connection. And then after you have that, she feels really understood, like you get her expectations, that's where you can finally potentially get through the door and say, that's not how I experience it at all. Can I tell you what it feels like to be me, like what I actually expect? And that's the moment that what you actually expect will be heard because she felt safe enough to tell you. That's the only thing you can do. That's the best way you can be a safe space. And it still might if she's not comfortable talking about it, it might not be there. It sounds like she would though, because you are at least having a conversation.
Yes, I think that's where at least we're making some progress. Like she's willing to have the conversations. But you mentioned like the you statements and all those sentences starting with you. Um, I've heard a lot of those you sentences within the last week and a half, and I'm like, okay, like, all right,
Yes.
cool.
That's your segue in. So when the next time she does it, you can even start a conversation like this. That you can say, you said that you think I blah, 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 blah. What are the expectations you think I have of you
Mhm,
when it comes to sex?
mhm.
And hear them all. Understand what it must feel like to be her if you have those expectations.
True.
Once she feels understood, then she'll feel safe enough to actually hear your truth.
Right.
And that'll be, yeah, but it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. It's so beautiful of you to ask though. That's a great question.